Hi, I am Pim, and I will guide you through this tutorial. In this tutorial, we will look at how you can make WEM, import and export data. WEM has the possibility to import and export data from a variety of sources, like Excel and CSV files. In this tutorial, we will import data from an Excel file into our WEM application. And we will export data from our WEM application to an Excel file. Let's get started. We will start this tutorial with importing this Excel sheet. As you can see, it contains data of all the states in the US. In preparation for this tutorial, in WEM, I already created a data model for this data. For each column in the Excel sheet, this data list contains a separate field. I also created a flowchart with an interaction node displaying this data. When we preview this flowchart, we can see the data list is still empty. Time to import some data. First, we need to import the Excel file into our WEM application. As a first step, we create a file field, which will hold this file. For security reasons, WEM requires you to enter a value in the Allow Access setting. We enter True to indicate we don't mind the user having access to this file. We add an exit to the interaction node to start the application logic for importing the data. The next step is to add an interaction node to allow the user to upload the Excel file into our application. Creating a form with a file field will provide the user with a button to upload a file. When the user has uploaded the Excel file, we need to extract the data from this file. We use the import node for this. The import node supports different formats. We choose CSV/Microsoft Excel. WEM will automatically detect the Excel format the user has provided. We tell WEM to use the imported Excel file by dragging the file field to the data source property. By dragging our new data list to the destination property, we tell WEM to place the import results in this data list. Next, we click the Edit Mapping button to define which column of the Excel file will end up in which field of the data list. We could enter this mapping manually. But WEM has a great feature to use an example Excel file to automatically generate the columns for us. After providing our Excel file, the only thing left to do is to drag each appropriate field to the right column. Now that the import node is fully configured, last thing to do is to make the import node part of the flow. Time to test our new functionality. It seems to work fine. We now see all states have been imported into our application. Now, let's try to export the product data, which we got from the integration with our ERP system during the first tutorial. We start with a new flowchart for this. When exporting data, WEM will generate a new export file. We first need to create a file field, which can hold this file. Next, we can drag the export node to the canvas of our flowchart. We select Excel, because we want to export our product data to an Excel file. To access the product data, we move to the Remote Data section of our project. This is where the OData integration was established during the first tutorial. We drag the product data list to the data source property of the export node. This tells WEM to export the data in this list. Next, we drag the newly created file field to the destination property of the export node. And we enter the name of the Excel file to be generated. Similar to what we did with the import node, we click the Edit Mapping button to define the columns in the Excel file. For the purpose of this tutorial, we will add only a few columns. But of course, you can add as many columns you like. After finishing the export node, we need to create functionality to provide the generated export file to the user. One option is to use the email functionality we saw in the previous tutorial to email the export file. The email process node has attachment properties for this. In this tutorial, however, we create a screen with a link to the export file. The user can use this link to download the export file. We drag an empty form to the canvas and add a free form item to it. This allows us to add the export file field as a label, instead of an input. When adding a file field label, WEM by default will show this as a clickable link. Let's test our export functionality by previewing our flowchart. As you can see, WEM has already generated the export file, and now presents the link to it. When we click the link, our browser automatically downloads the Excel file. And here we see the result. WEM has exported the product data into an Excel file. This concludes this tutorial. I hope you liked it. We are happy to receive your feedback. And we are open for any questions you have. You can contact us at support@pim21.com.